This plant will be a larger plant than most of our other plants that we've built so far. In fact, all the other plants that we've built so far, with the ability to handle up to 50,000 barrels of brine water a day. And, all that said, this plant we expect to be online in the third quarter of next year.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Dr. Tom Becker, the CEO of Iofina. Tom, very good to speak with you. With the new IOSorb plant set to double brine processing capacity, how do you see this impacting Iofina's overall iodine production and revenue in 2026 and beyond?
Hi, Stephen. Yes, great to speak with you today. I think we've spoken a lot of times here recently, almost all positive news, but this one feels a little bit different. So yes, we just announced an agreement for a new plant today. It's in a new basin in the United States, and this plant will be a larger plant than most of our other plants that we've built so far. In fact, all the other plants that we've built so far, with the ability to handle up to 50,000 barrels of brine water a day. And all that said, this plant we expect to be online in the third quarter of next year. So it will have, anywhere between a quarter and 2 quarters of production to that. Combine that with our most recent plant, IO11, being online for the full year, and revenues and iodine production in 2026 will be significantly higher than previous year. So all in all, very positive news today from Iofina.
Tom, Western Midstream brings extensive experience in produced water handling. How does this partnership strengthen Iofina's operational capabilities and future expansion plans in the Permian Basin?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, this plant is in the Permian Basin. So, West Texas, Eastern New Mexico kind of area, the largest basin in the United States. Western, which recently acquired Aris Water Solutions, has significant expertise in not only just handling the water, but also utilizing that water for other reuse or recycling. And this partnership with Western, I think, just advances Iofina, allows us to partner with a more technical partner, for lack of a better way to put it. We have the iodine extraction technology, but they are very interested in ways to, use this brine water for beneficial use for society. And iodine extraction is just one of those things. So I think this partnership bodes very well. They handle an extraordinary amount of water per day. They're handling, over 2.5 million barrels of water a day. This first plant between Western and Iofina is just a portion of that we hope that this will allow for, future expansion down the road. We do anticipate this being a new core area for Iofina, but we aren't probably done in Oklahoma, as there are other projects that we're looking at there as well in the future. So again, big day for Iofina, larger plant in a new area, and I think with the right partner.
Tom, the new plant's expected online in the second half of 2026, as you mentioned, at a cost of $8 to $9 million. Are you confident the project will stay on schedule and budget?
Yeah, this is the schedule and budget we're pretty confident in. This is a new area for us and slightly larger plant. So there's probably a little bit more plus or minus on the budget timeframe, but we think it'll be in the mid eights from a cost standpoint. We're really confident in the timeline, unless we see something happening. But we've really already started sourcing most of the materials for this particular plant. The lead times look good for the major components. So we're confident that, our experience and our construction team will be able to execute the building of this new plant and have it online the third quarter of next year.
Does the agreements open the door to further IOSorb plants in the Permian Basin or other regions? And how does it fit into your long-term growth strategy?
Yeah, so this agreement is for this particular plant, but we are working with Western, and we are working with other potential partners for other sites. So while there's a lot of brine water that's produced, our geological team has a model of where economic amounts of iodine are in these particular brine waters. Partnering with Western opens up the door for other sites with Western. We have opportunities in the Permian Basin and in other areas, like in the Oklahoma areas that we currently have plants in. So we've been building a plant a year. This is a little bit larger plant. We continue to execute our growth strategy, and I think this is a step change for iAthena in order to move the company to the next level, producing even more iodine at a faster and expanding at a faster rate.
Tom, congratulations on this latest development. I hope you'll keep us posted on progress.
Thanks, Stephen. And before we go, I'd like to mention, I don't think we've talked since our last Q3 update. The existing plants continue to produce at a strong level. We've had record production months, which we have announced to the market. We anticipate producing between 400 and 440 metric tons of our crystalline iodine in the second half of the year. And with this new plant coming online next year, that production level will continue to grow. So appreciate the time to speak with you today, and have a great day.
You too. That's Dr. Tom Becker, the CEO of iAthena.